Hello, welcome to American Baker in Germany. We are continuing our Is That Cake Real or AI? And this time we have a Christmas edition. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. I have briefly glanced at them just to add them to my list. And hopefully we have a few that are not AI. Last time it was very AI heavy, so I'm hoping that it's a little more balanced this time. Anyways, so I thought that we could look at Christmas cakes this time. It's still not quite clear to me why anybody would want to make an AI generated image of a cake. It just seems really strange to me. I guess maybe if it's people who make cakes for a living, but honestly, wouldn't you rather show off what you have done? It doesn't really make sense to me either way. But let's take a look and see what we can see. So let's start off with the first one. Okay, Omar has it on the bottom. I'm looking at this and being like, why is that so blurry? Yeah, there might be a reason for that. All right, that's better. Amazing. All right, Omar immediately makes me think it might be real. Also, the candles look like they could be real. Like that candle at the bottom, that could be a real candle. And also oh gosh, like a lot of these things could be real. Like the baubles for the Christmas tree and the pine cones could be real. Like, oh gosh, this looks real to me. I'm not sure what's up with the texture on the side. Is that a drip? If it's not, it looks really a little bit strange texture, but it looks on purpose though. And no, I think this is real. I think there's a lot of purchased items that they included in it, but also this watermark in the middle is kind of in the way, I'm not going to lie, but at least it indicates that the cake is probably real. It's very Christmassy, and considering there's a name on it, it makes me think that it's probably a birthday cake. So I can't decide if is this birthday or Christmas, or is this somebody whose birthday is on Christmas. I don't know, but that's just a little bit funny. But no, I think this is real. This looks very real to me with actual holly and yeah, so berries, like probably currants, like red currants. I don't think they're real holly berries. Holly berries are poisonous, I believe, but they could definitely have done that with currants. They look very similar. Anyways, yeah, I think this is real. So chalk one for real. It's kind of surprising. So this one gives me immediate AI vibes. I think it has to do with like how dreamy it looks. Also the fact that those little skinny arms are really hard to do. I mean, I guess you can, but like, also the scarf is kind of like blowing in the wind, like it has motion. Also there's little balls at the top that are floating. Yeah. So I'm going to say this is an AI image. Also, like standing on one foot is really hard to do. It's not impossible, but but also like the falling snow, and it's only falling on the top and it's not falling on the bottom. Like you could do that with a filter, but like, these little floating things, yeah, there's no way. This and like the teeny tiny little like balls on the side that are in the shadow of a drip. Like a drip isn't that thick to cast that much of a shadow. It doesn't stand apart from the cake either. So no, this is AI. Well, this one would be pretty cool if it weren't an AI image. I like the idea of it. But like the ribbons going around, it's too perfect, and the leaves look almost plastic the way they're shining like that. But also the detail of these like things on the side. Like it's not impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying that it's unlikely. Like to get it this clean and this perfect is basically impossible. Yeah. Like the leaves around the bottom are so delicate and they stand out from the cake. Like how would you do that? Like honestly, you could do that. It's not impossible, as I said. It's just like, why would you bother to go through that much detail on something that small on the side of a cake. Like, in general, you wouldn't. And I don't know, it's too perfect, it's too symmetrical, it's too, detailed, has too many small things. This is AI. All right, this one. My first instinct is to say AI. And let's see if I agree with myself later. Come on. There we go. It's the Ferris wheel for me. Yeah. This is also a really like low quality image. I don't know. The Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel? Like, why would you put a Ferris wheel on the side of a Christmas cake? Like, what does Ferris wheel have to do with Christmas? And there's one on both sides. This one looks even more delicate than the other one. Like, how would you even do that? Like, that would be super difficult. Plus, what is the advantage of this? Like, what does Ferris wheels have to do with Christmas? Like, it doesn't really make sense. What's this little house on the side? It looks like it has a cone on the top. I guess it's supposed to look like that, but it looks weird. The little elves. The Christmas tree is cool. But then I would have to ask, is it full 3D, like round, or is it kind of flat on against the cake? It's clearly three-dimensional, but like in how far three-dimensional, And also this bower of like flowers and greenery on the top of the cake is very difficult to do. And so anything you see that has that is most likely AI. It's not about being edible. None of this looks edible. It looks very stiff, and even the drip on the side. And also, like I said, if you have to ask, what is that? It's probably AI. What is that? It's AI. Yeah. This one. Oh. Ooh. First glance, I think this is real. What gives me that impression? Well, I've seen these kind of like three-dimensional illusion cakes. They're doable, but like the reason I think it is because I can see the cake board and I can see this strip of fondant. This is exactly how I would do it if I were going to do this. Is you would roll out a strip of white fondant and then just like snake it, and so it would be the same width all the way around. And that is how you would do it. That is how you would put a snow slice around. And then the inside part be blue, and then you put that white over top of it. So it looks like it like snowed over top of a river and put a little bridge and stuff. Like those are you could make that out of chocolate. That would be doable. The snowman's very cute, but it's very simple. The little log cabin looks like you might have like put lines into brown fondant. I don't know what the cabin itself is supposed to be made of. It could be styrofoam, or it could be like Rice Krispie treats. There are a couple options. Also, the tree in the background is clearly hidden behind the cabin because it's hard to do the base part. So they just didn't do it. They just had it coming out of the cabin. And that makes perfect sense to me. The little trees are doable. The mountains are very simple. They have this little spray. That's a spray you can buy that has like gone farther on one side than on the other because they're concentrating on that part. I'm not sure what the white part is made of. I'm going to be honest there. But this is an illusion cake. So what you have is a stick, basically, that's inside the cake that goes up. And the ball on top, the moon, is probably styrofoam. And then covered in, some sort of coloring. And then you probably put the very delicate, probably purchased, unless it was made out of a chocolate mold, the sleigh and reindeer. And then this, whatever this white is, I'm not sure what it is, putting it around it to hide the stick. Yeah? So this, and also the fact that there's basically no background, makes me think that this is real. Yeah? I'm going to say this is real. It's lovely. Whoever did this, lovely, lovely job. My hat's off to you. Well, that's cute. Ooh. Is that real or AI? That's a hard one. I'm not sure yet. Hang on. I'm trying to figure out what in the world is supposed to be holding. What is that? Is that like a spinning wheel? What is that supposed to be? So I'm going with my first instinct to say this is probably AI, because if you have to ask what is it, then it's probably AI. But maybe it's just something I'm not familiar with. Like, what else could that be? Is it a unicycle? Like, I don't understand what that's supposed to be. The little tiny cabins, like, are also strange to me, just as far as design goes. The design doesn't quite make sense. If the design made more sense, then I would think for sure it was real, because this is a lovely image. And also just the swirling pattern, like, I would believe that that was supposed to be, that was like piped on royal icing, meant to represent like the wind through the snow. I wouldn't have even bat an eyelash. And also the way that this like ruffle is on the side, you can totally do that with a strip of white fondant and just like bend it like that. It's actually pretty easy. But if I understood the design, I would say this is real. But the design doesn't make sense to me. Also, what is that ball on the side doing there? It doesn't seem to have a purpose. Like, it's very unpurposeful. Also, there are some red dots in this tree, but not in the one behind it. Are there any over here? There's a couple. But like, if I were making a Christmas tree, I would put them spread out more. I would put in more of them. The small, tiny little cabins at the bottom doesn't quite make sense. This kind of a Santa Claus is actually doable. I think somebody could make this. I just don't think they did. I think that this is AI because this design element makes no sense to me. None. I don't understand it. What is it supposed to be? If it were obviously something purposeful, then I would probably say this is real. But the fact that it has all these elements that are not purposeful makes me think that it's AI. So I'm going to say AI. You can disagree with me. Write it down below in the comments. Do you think this is AI, or do you think that I was wrong and that it really is real? So let me know what you think. Okay, this one's really cute because this is totally doable and it would only take about 20 minutes to make. This is definitely real, first of all. This is piped. The balls at the bottom appear to be purchased. I think that these are just sprinkles of some kind or candies, just placed around the bottom. The two-tone color is actually pretty easy to get, but also the fact that the color is so weak makes me think it's somebody who's slightly less like practiced at making cakes, who doesn't know how much food coloring you need to make a red frosting. So what you do is you would color some of your frosting pink and then spread it around the bottom, and then on the side, like the other half of the bottom of the side, you would like put on white, and then you'd smooth it together, and that was totally is the effect. Also the green on the top, once again, you just put green on the top, and also they're hiding where the green meets the white. And also the top edge of the cake is the hardest to get smooth. And so like putting the piping over top of that is totally a way to hide that. I do it all the time. All the time. Like put me a piped cake. And then this part on the top is pretty easy, but it's going to be the majority of what's in your piping bag. So you just get like I would say like a big open star tip. And then you pipe basically all of your frosting, starting in the middle and then doing big circles and then going up. Make sure to fill in the middle and then go up and up and up like that, and around and around and around until you get to the top, and then pull it straight up. Yeah, and then put a little sprinkle on the very top. So those are little sprinkles around there. This is definitely real. And it's totally doable. This is an easy one. So if you want to have an easy, simple cake that almost anybody could make, even beginners with piping, go for this one. This one's great. Oh, this one also looks real to me. has some like candles in the background, but what sticks out to me immediately is these stripes are not perfectly even, and also they have a thickness. Like, see that? It has a little thickness, has a little drop shadow. So that makes me think that that's real. I think around the center is ribbon. Like, you can purchase a ribbon that looks like that, and they use the same ribbon for the bow. Well, not necessarily the same ribbon, but the same color ribbon. And then like heaping stuff on the top and then spreading it with little powdered sugar to give it a little effect, like it looks like it's been like snowed on. These things around the bottom, I think they're probably all edible. I would say like those look like cherries to me, maybe currants. They could be yeah, those are cherries. And the holly leaves, I don't know about. They could be real, but I would strongly advise you to take them off of the cake before you cut into them, because I understand holly leaves are not edible. Don't eat holly. It's not meant to be eaten. That the stripes on the side are fondant, and maybe the white balls could be fondant as well. I'm not sure what some of the other things are. They could be candies. So yeah, I'm saying candies and a combination of that with a little bit of powdered sugar. This is actually fairly simple. It looks really cool, like for something that's that simple, but I think this is real. And moving back to AI. Okay, I do like the candle idea of making the cake into the candle and having a drip on the edge. I do like that. This is not real though. Also, the wreath in the center, you wouldn't put around a real flame. And there's no way you could make that flame out of something edible that's clearly a flame. So, and you wouldn't actually light your cake on fire. You just wouldn't. It doesn't really, go well. Plus, the extreme detail of what looks like a painting on the side of the cake, yeah, there's no way you could do that. That's impossible. Plus, with the realism of the Santa Claus, also, what is he like? Got the elf on a harness or something? Like, what is that about? No, this is clearly AI, and if you don't see it, I'm sorry, but then you need to work on your recognition of AI images. This is AI. All right, this one, it has a dreamy quality, which makes me immediately think it's AI. But I'm not 100% sure, because this could be like gingerbread, like frosted. But I don't know. That tree in the center looks just, it looks too much like pine, yeah? Like that texture would be super hard to get. And then I have to ask, like, what is this like decoration in there? Is it like piped? Is it like gingerbread? Like, what is that supposed to be? You know? Also, why would you have like a random piped spot over here? Like, doesn't quite make sense either, does it? There's the candy canes in the back. And there's some more gingerbread, more candy canes. Although, like, what's this? Is those candy canes or like a candy like chunk? Yeah. It doesn't quite make sense. It's just off, and it has that dreamy quality of like, look at me, I'm so perfect. No, this is AI. Alrighty, this one is clearly AI. Ugh. Look at those sweaters. Like, how did you even do that? You couldn't. Yeah, that's the answer. The drip obviously is doable, but what about the lights? Like, yeah, and then like the birdhouse, plus like there are three birds, right? But why are these two like on top of each other? Or is that supposed to be one like really screwed up bird? Anyways, and then like this tree is so obviously AI that it's just ridiculous. Anyways, but it was funny to look at. This is AI. Alrighty. This one's not dissimilar to the other one we just looked at, but like if you could do this with a red covered cake, at least on the top, and then piped on with royal icing. The ribbon would obviously have to be real. I'm not sure what the leaves would have been made out of. I guess you could do that out of fondant. The flowers are a little strange though. Like I would think if you were going to do something like this, you would either make it holly or poinsettias. But these are neither. The little balls are okay, I guess, but like I don't know, they don't seem very purposeful. Also, the white like bamboo looking thing on the side, I don't understand its purpose. It doesn't seem to have a purpose. And like, why would you put these like arches of red fondant on the side? They don't really make sense to me. I guess you could make those ahead of time if that's, you know, what you were going for, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem very purposeful. And so I'm going to say this is probably AI. I'm not as confident on this as I am about some other things, but I think this is not real. I'm going to say AI. Another stripy one. People do like that, don't they? I'm not as sure about this one. I'm gonna say AI, but nothing super obvious is jumping out at me except for the design flaws, because up at the top you have these stripes, there's alternating red and white stripes, right? The thickness, you can see it. And on here we have alternating red and white stripes, except here it seems to be almost like half merging into the background, but like the rest of them are alternating red and white. But then down here there's no white, it just disappears. Like, why would you do that? As a baker, you wouldn't. You would not do that. If you had it all over the cake, you would be committed to that design and you would execute it through the entire cake. You would never forget one. Yeah. I guess if you ran out of fondant, but that's not very likely now, is it? These stripes, like candies on the side, don't seem very purposeful. I feel like they were kind of a reflection of the ribbon. And like up here, it looks more like ribbon than it does candies, and I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Yeah, like this is a silly one because it's not even that cool. It's okay, but like, if you were making a cake like this, it really wouldn't be that difficult to do. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me to make an AI image that looks like this. But also, if you were powdering it with powdered sugar, it would be everywhere. It wouldn't just be in certain spots like it does here. Like, for example, here, you have some here, yeah? If this were powdered sugar, why isn't there any back there? Like, that doesn't make sense either. And if you had it on the bottom, then it would definitely be on the top everywhere. And the top barely has any at all. No, there's no way. This is not real. This is AI. And it's a really weird image to make AI. I think that's weird. All right, this one. Well, it's really cute. It gives me an immediate AI vibe. And the reason being is mostly because of this, like, clearly fondant covered cake. Then why do you have piping at the bottom? Like, people don't usually combine those two things. It's not common. If you're going to do piping, you do piping. If you're going to do fondant, you do fondant. You can combine them, but it's not common. It's just not. Also, this tree looks weird. Like, if you have these like pine leaves, like things on the side, I don't know what to call those, but then the middle part looks completely different. Is it supposed to be the same kind of a tree? Because it doesn't look like it at all. And why would you do these two different colors of green? If it were me, I would choose the same green for all of them. If you do two tones of green, which is okay, I wouldn't choose these two. Like this kind of a foresty green, and then this one's like a teal. Like, why would you make it teal and then have the color mirrored down here on the present, which also doesn't quite make sense? And you know, the snowflake and the stars, I guess those are okay. The Santa's okay too, but like, it just gives me a weird feeling about it. Like, the design doesn't quite make sense. The combining of the piping plus the fondant, it doesn't make sense, plus the drip, which is super thick again. I think this is AI. Or stripes. Mm-hmm. Is this one gonna be AI too? Maybe. All right, so it looks like we have the background covered in red fondant with white stripes on top, yeah? And the bottom is just covered in flowers and pearls. The ribbon is clearly real if it is real. I'm not quite convinced yet. I feel like some of the mistakes that they make, like what is this like triple line? I don't understand the purpose of that. This one's harder for me. I'm not quite convinced. I'm leaning a little bit towards AI, but I'm not 100% sure. I feel like if somebody came by and said, oh, by the way, that one was real, I would totally believe you. It's mostly for the unpurposeful design because they have these like dogwood flowers, which isn't really Christmassy anyway. But then you have like this random petal, like suddenly somewhere that doesn't really make sense. Plus the three lines at the top didn't make sense to me either. There's nothing seriously floating. There's nothing to like jump out and be like, hey, that's wrong. But like, or this one where there's a petal missing, but it seems to be over here underneath the ribbon, which doesn't make sense either. So I'm going to go with AI, but it's tentative. Like, let me know down below if you agree with me or if you disagree. So this one I think is AI. Okay, this one's clearly AI. And I think the biggest reason being that you have these glowing windows. You can't make windows glow like that in real life. Well, you can, but like you have to have like a hollow area behind it, and you have to, like it takes a lot of planning to try to make something like that glow. And you would do it normally on a gingerbread house and not on a cake, which is this is clearly meant to be cake. Yeah, I mean, there's too much detail. I mean, I've talked about this before, but like in general, so things, so it's not even the icicles. The icicles I think is doable. Even the shingles I would give you. What I won't give you is this detail around the windows. Like, what the heck? Like, that's not even really flippin' possible. And if you made it work, why would you bother, you know? Unless you have all these like garlands and stuff everywhere. This one doesn't seem to be sitting on anything. It's not purposeful. Yeah? And the bells and stuff, I get the bells, those are okay, but like there just seems to be too many of them. Like, why would you put that many bells around your cake? Once again, the siding like detail. This one's not resting on anything. I'm sorry, this is giving me AI vibes. So it's lovely, but I'm pretty sure it's AI. All right, this one is also giving me AI vibes, and the reason is because immediately this fog, like from like the smoke from the train going up into the side. Like that would be really difficult to do. Oh my gosh. Look at the face on that. And a snowman with this like face. That's funny. Also, like the mountains like jutting up out of the top, that's not really a thing either. The tracks just sort of stop. Yeah, like there's no way. This is AI. I just think it's funny, like some of the things they come up with. This is AI. Alrighty. This is super cute if it's real. For me, that's the eyes. Makes it look like it's not real because it's really hard to get that depth of clarity in the eyes. Well, plus I talked about this powdered sugar stuff. being not evenly distributed, which, you know, like I said, if it would be somewhere, it would be everywhere. And while it first appears to be everywhere, it's not. Like on the edges of these leaves, it would definitely be there, but it's not. Yeah. Like it just, you know, it doesn't really make sense as far as like gravity, where it would put everything. Plus there's no snow on the elf himself. The eyes look too cartoonish. I'm going to go with AI. Okay, there's a woman in this picture, and I'm not sure that I don't recognize her from somewhere. I'm not sure what her name is, though. So this is clearly a real cake. But look at the detail. Let's just appreciate this for a few minutes. So she did an amazing job. This bottom tier is covered with an extra cake board to give her a little bit extra room to put more figures on it. The middle tier is a double barrel, so it's extra tall cake. The cake itself looks fairly small. I mean, the bottom tier is maybe, I'd say maybe 9 inches, and then like the center tier is probably 5, and then the top tier is like, well, it could be 6, and then the top tier is like 4. And then some of the things, like she would have to get some sort of poles and stuff, like for the lamps, and the North Pole thing at the top. That's the little Yetis and the penguins. You know, like it's so cute. This would take days. This is probably a week's worth of work that you're looking at right here. I love the Santa in the little train with the little animals in it. Oh my gosh, this is so stinking cute. The little Mrs. Claus. Like, I love this. So my hat's off to you, lovely woman on the side in purple. You did a lovely, amazing job, and I wish I knew who you were to give you credit. Your face does ring a bell. I just can't place it. So I'm bad with names. I apologize, but this is really, really gorgeous. So well done. I'm going to say this is real. Okay, I've seen this one before. This is like a cake that is made on Cake Dummies by professional bakers. Yeah. And they'll do and they'll put it in like their shop. This is not for sale. This is to show off what they can do. So this is a 12 Days of Christmas cake. So in case you're not familiar with the song, on the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah. So they go through that, and then the drummer, they put, what's his name? Is it Grover? Who's doing the drum? No, it's not Grover. What's his name? I can't remember. Monster, something like that. Who does the drums in the Muppets? And then I don't understand the pipers piping. They don't look like pipes. Oh, they're baking pipes. They're piping cakes. Oh, I get it. See, that was pretty clever. Lords a leaping. They're leaping over each other. They're playing leapfrog. The ladies dancing. They did like the can girls. I like that. The maids a milking. I like that they have a cow with the milk all over the place. So cute. The swans a swimming. Very lovely. Geese a laying. I don't get this one either. They all have sunglasses on, so I'm not sure what that's about or why they're yellow. The 5 golden rings. I love that they have the Olympic rings. Yeah. 4 calling birds. I don't understand why they're people. This has been painted into a side, I think, or it could be an edible image, but I don't get that one. If you do, put it down in the comments below, as I don't get it. 3 French hens. I'm not sure how they're French, but okay. They look to be like they're running or something. And then 2 turtle doves is the classic look. And then the partridge in a pear tree is a person sitting in a tree. I'm not sure why. But this is really cool. Clearly took a long time to make. And in my opinion, it would be a display cake at a bakery made with cake dummies. That's what I think it is. It was probably a whole team's effort who made that. So well done. I didn't make a 12-tiered cake. Like, that's crazy to think about. Anyways, but this is real. Crazy, but it's real. All right, this one is clearly AI, and it's the dreamy images, like the dreamy quality and like the over detailedness of it. The strawberries do not look real. If you were going to make something like this, you would put real strawberries on it. So why do they look like a cartoon? Yeah, that's because it's not real. Yeah. Also, what's up with the cathedral windows? Is this supposed to be a cathedral? Because it was supposed to be like, oh, and I also just realized something. From the roof, it looks like it's square. But if you look down here, it looks more like it's round. Yeah? Is it round or is it square? Where's the edge? Yeah? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. This is AI. All right. This one is pretty simple. I mean, put some cookies on it and some holly dusting it. Once again, the powdered sugar dusting is not even, which makes me think it's AI. Once again, this is such a silly thing to make AI. Like just a bunch of gingerbread on the side? I don't understand. Why do people do this? I don't get it. A little drip cake with gingerbread cookies around it, and it's AI. Yeah, okay. If I have to explain why, it's because of the very uneven distribution of the powdered sugar. That's not how powdered sugar would distribute naturally. They would get more on the cookies around the side as well as the cookies on top. And also this snowman cookie doesn't make any sense to me, the way its arms are like sticking out of something. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Plus, why are some of them frosted and some are more natural looking? Like, that doesn't make sense either. You know, if you were that good at frosting, you would frost all of them. No, this is AI, and it's really weird thing to make an AI image out of. All right, this one is clearly real. And the reason is not only because of the simplicity of the design, which is a very lovely classical kind of design. Those sharp edges, gosh, that must be ganache underneath it. It's hard to get that sharp of an edge on it, but it is possible. It probably paneled it. And then the piping on the side is probably royal icing. It's just a little decoration, and then pressed probably some real holly on the side. I think that that's real. I'm gonna go with real. And following a real one is clearly an AI image. Oh, look at those birds. Gosh. Like, and plus the floating, like, O-ring up the top. It's so funny. Oh, yeah. And then you have, like, this ribbon coming off of the wing. That doesn't make any sense. Like, no, this is obvious AI. At least this one's blatant about it. That's AI. See, this one looks so cool. It has kind of a metallic feel to it. And yet, and yet that's so difficult to do with fondant. Like, you could have a board underneath that top one, but why would you? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't give you more space. And then, like, it's 4 tiered. Like, this tier in the middle is kind of almost hidden. And also the details on the side. The stockings are okay, but like what's up with the garlands? And then like this doesn't seem purposeful either. What is that? It's almost steampunky. And I don't think that's what they were going for, you know? Plus, like, the structure at the top doesn't make sense to me either. What does it have to do with Christmas? Like, the color palette's okay. It's kind of a muted, metallic kind of a color palette, but like, why would you do it? You know, it's one of those things. If it's not purposeful, doesn't make sense design-wise, then you wouldn't. So I'm going to go with AI. Well, I would say this one is doable, except for one thing. And that's this. What is that? Like, why would you do that? And also, like, the piping on the bottom doesn't make any sense. It's going all which way. And now there's so many errors. There's so many flaws. I don't understand how, like, why would you bother to make this in the first place? Yeah, it's just weird. Now I'm going with AI. Okay, this one's clearly AI. I mean, this like soft glow it on it is just so obvious. This like super filigree like gold on the side with random leaves coming out of it doesn't make any sense. But it's the candles also. The candles, except that one on the side, which isn't a candle, it's a ball that's on fire. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's another one in the back. Yeah. And there's a candle that's not lit, but the ball on the side is. Yeah. AI generated image. It's so weird. Ooh, like I really love the colors on this one. I wish it were real. But it's not. And like looking at the little drips on the side, like you wouldn't put a drip there anyway because it wouldn't have an origin. But even if you did, it wouldn't look like that. That doesn't look like normal drips. Plus this metallic stuff looks like metal. Like I don't want metal on my cake. I don't know about you. But and then the snowflake on top that's supposed to be like a centerpiece and capture your attention is missing half of the ends. Like the ends on the top should be reflected in the bottom, but it's not. It's just not there. Yeah, this is clearly AI and it just doesn't make any sense. This is AI. And the last one is also AI. Obviously. Because, like, how is the top part of the cake bigger than the bottom? Like, it doesn't make sense proportionally for that train to go back that far with, like, plus, you know, if you zoom in at the faces, like, what is that? Next to, like, a snowman, I guess? Or, like, what are these, like, random figures from Wizard of Oz? Like, I don't understand. And also some of the trees are decorated and some aren't. Also doesn't make sense. And they have a random decoration here and there. Like, it's just silly. But the main thing is the proportions. The top is way bigger than the bottom and doesn't make any sense. So. And also the glowing windows isn't a thing. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. It doesn't happen. Anyways, this one's clearly AI. And cool. So that's the last one I had for today. I hope you enjoyed that again and thought that was more fun. The next time we do one of these, we will move on to the next year. So let me know what you think in the comments below, if you agree or you disagree with anything I had to say. I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me, so go ahead and feel free to. Anyway, let me know and give the video a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.